Look, it's been a real snooze fest on JSE. It's been a bad time. People are not asking questions. Our metric has really fallen through the floor. So I don't know what I need to do differently to get people on the horse, but people really need to ask questions and add answers. Maybe what I should be focusing on is asking people to visit all of the old answers. So go to the pages where you have some level of knowledge on a given tag or a given extension or some kind of process, or even if you know JavaScript or if you just know CSS, go to those pages and vet the answers. So if there's something that isn't absolutely perfect or isn't exactly how you would do it, go and add your advice. And if you're not sure if yours is better than someone else's, just say, look, I don't know what's better, but this is what I do in my own project, and this is my style. And then by doing that, it will enable other people to say, oh, you know what, your style isn't actually that great for this reason. And then they can actually give you guidance. Even though you answered, they can give you guidance about how to improve your own stuff. So there's a lot to benefit. Yeah, so any activity would be good activity. If you are a person who has enough reputation points to edit tags, we have a lot of tags in JSE that do not have descriptions. So you can add them to a question to say, yeah, we identify this as being in the back end, or this is this extension. But sometimes when you click on the tag and it's meant to explain what the tag is, there's nothing because no one bothered to edit it. Now, you do have to have a certain level of reputation before you can do that, but that would be very useful. And you actually gain reputation points when you do that well. If it gets approved, then you get +2 points for each time you do that, and you can do I don't know how many you can do in a row before they're approved, but I'll be approving them as they go. There's a limit to how many you can pile up, but yeah, it is one way of earning and getting to the next threshold. And the only other news is that we had a slight ripple in our community in the last week, where a very prominent contributor to Joomla had some misunderstandings about something that somebody posted and took it the wrong way, and it was a flare-up. That has resulted in some Twitter rants that I found to be inaccurate, and I appealed to the person to say, if you'd like to chat this out, I'm happy when time allows and time zones permit. I can explain where it's gone wrong and how we can make this better. But in the end, I discovered I wasn't alerted to it by the software, but I just happened to come across the fact that that person had requested the destruction of their account. So they're no longer, if I don't know if it's gone through yet, but it has to be done by an employee of Stack Overflow because this person had more reputation. They exceeded a certain threshold, so it couldn't be done by volunteer moderators. So it had to be purged by corporate. So that person's account will be lost. All the points will be lost. All the content stays, but they are completely disconnected from the community. That's not to say that that person can't ever come back and contribute. But when they come back, they'll have to create a new account. They won't be able to resurrect the old destroyed account. It's final, and they'll have to re-earn any points. They have to start from scratch all over again. And if they do, that's fine. I don't have any hard feelings. I'm not bothered. I make a complete separation between human beings and contributions. So if someone's making good contributions to JSE, I want them there. And if they don't want to, then no one's going to force their hand. The whole backstory on this person is in Joomla StackExchange meta. I decided, in defense of any future Twitter rants, I wanted to have one definitive page that had undoctored, unfiltered, unchanged sequence of events that led to this unfortunate happening. So if anyone sees anything on Twitter that looks like it's unfair or not telling the whole story, you'll be able to refer to the meta page that I've made, and that will sum that all up. Does anybody have any questions about JSE?
So Mick, is it worth? I've posted a few things on Joomla Joomla.org.au where I've uncovered a couple of technical bits and pieces. Is it worth taking those things and copying and pasting them into JSE to try and lift the profile of JSE for you guys?
Definitely. If you're the person who, if you can own that question, and you know the difference between right and wrong, or you want to be the authority, the person that cares for that question, absolutely copy paste it right on. You can even say, put a link back to the Joomla forum that says, this is where it came from. I'm just seeding this, it's nothing wrong with seeding our content using something else, especially if you're the author of that one.
It's I don't know, maybe less than half a dozen times where a couple of little things have cropped up, and I thought, oh, that's how this is a workaround, and here you go. This might be helpful, but if it will be helpful for JSE as well, I'm happy to share it.
Yeah, are they all resolved issues?
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. So you can post your question and then immediately answer it all in one fell swoop. So there's a checkbox underneath of a question where you say, do you want to self-answer? You just check it yes, and then you post your answer at the same time. So they get posted at the same time. That would be excellent for the same reasons that I mentioned earlier, is that if someone else identifies what your solution is and they have a better solution, then you get multiple, you get multiple answers. Or if you're doing something especially right, it might just be a comment. They go, yeah, this is absolutely awesome what you're doing, and here's why. So it's a really good place for exchanging that kind of knowledge. But what I find to be superior on JSE compared to Joomla Forum is that Joomla Forum is thread based, and it usually ends up having a single solution, which is a little bit stifling in my opinion. So asking a question on JSE opens it up to the potential of multiple resolutions. So definitely, please do.
Okay, I'll get my finger out and sort it out.
So Mick, are you telling me that I can improve my reputation by answering my own questions?
Absolutely can. I wish you would. Yeah. If you post good content, I absolutely guarantee that you will increase your reputation because I'll be upvoting it. I'm upvoting. Here's okay. Let me
in the first place, I can easily answer my own questions.
You should definitely do it. I mean, this is not a laughing matter. This is really, really important. I mean, I understand why you're laughing, but holy sweet Jesus, this is where all the knowledge is getting lost. If you can answer your own question,
it's not a laughing matter, because I was complaining to you ages ago about the whole reputation thing and about answering a question and they're not getting accepted by the person who posted it, so you get no reputation. If I can answer my own questions, I'm good to go.
Well, okay, and so accepting is kind of a separate arm of this. So you don't have to have an answer accepted. There's no requirement that an answer that it needs to be accepted to be useful to the community. It's nice, and only the asker can award the green tick to an answer. If you answer your own question and you award your own answer the green tick, you don't get an extra 15 points for giving yourself for awarding yourself the green tick. But if you ask a question and someone else answers it, you give their answer the green tick, you get 2 points yourself for awarding it. So there is a one hand rubbing the other type situation.
And how many points do I need again to actually be able to answer things?
Well, I think if I recall correctly, the rub for you was that you didn't have enough reputation to comment. You wanted to leave comments. Yeah. So I think you only need about 15 points to get to that. So 2 upvotes and you're there.
I'll work on.
Easily done. So here's let me just express the secret sauce to my voting. If I see a question that shows research, toil, some kind of attempt to own the question, and they're not just going, I need an extension that does this, someone work for me, or can someone explain this, and there's no proof that they didn't look at the documentation, they haven't done any research, I'm not upvoting that. But if you show me any effort at all and your question is clear, I'm upvoting that thing. I don't care if I like you, if I hate you, if I don't know you, I'm upvoting it because it's good for the community. And it's the same way with answers. If you answer a question, you go, add this line of code. Whether that works or not, I don't know. And I'm not going to sit around and test it. But I expect answers to endeavor to be educational. So if you write an answer that seems correct and endeavors to be educational to not just the person who asked the question, but to researchers, if it's good for researchers, I'm upvoting it. I mean, there are times when I've upvoted and then someone like Sharky came along and said, this is absolutely incorrect. It will not work. I've had to remove my upvote because I don't want to misguide researchers, but I do err on the side of thanking people for contributions. What we need is more people earning more points and feeling the love. Like when you get that little happy green +10 at the top of your screen, it is a good feeling. It verifies that you're not wasting your time, that you're actually doing something that helps people. And I know as moderator that the more people we have with more rep, the more they can help and the more the big wheels keep turning. So everyone listening, please ask your questions. If you've never asked a question before, just get started. Your first question is always going to be your worst one. It's always going to be the worst post you've ever made because you learn every time you do it. So don't be embarrassed about that. And if I edit your post, don't be embarrassed about that. This is part of my job, is that I keep everything clean. And I will help you to have good posts. And if you don't have a stockpile of questions already ready, think about your week in development, or think about your work week and where you got stuck. Because I don't know about you guys, but every time I go to work, every week, there are 2 or 3 times during the course of the week where I am stuck. And then I had to go and research it, and I couldn't find the answer and had to work it out. Every time that happens when you're working with Joomla, that is a question that you could be posting. If you resolve it, post your own answer, share what you've learned and where you found the answer if it's not already on Joomla StackExchange. And if you don't find the answer, well, post the question, maybe someone else can help you and you won't have to struggle for hours. So there's a lot that people can be posting. I'm not able to do this myself because my 9-to-5 job doesn't use Joomla at all. So I'm really poorly positioned to contribute. So I'm doing what I can as a non-Joomla. So anyhow, I am about 20 minutes late for my Pilates.
Oh my goodness, get on that ball, mate.
Yes. All right. So yes, please contribute, and I love you guys, and I'll see y'all later.
Thanks, mate. Bye, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Get him every time I ask. Right. So Mike, I've sent through answer to your question there, that there'll be a mix. So when the RC comes out, it's the same as a Joomla version update, that there'll be a full package if you're starting from scratch, and then an upgrade package that will just continue to just patch the things that have changed over the from version to version. So that should pick itself up. Jenny, I'm hoping that your question was in regards to just general Joomla 4 bits and pieces there.
Yes, it was, Patrick. Yep. So that I'll go and check that out.
Yeah. So the video link that I've posted in the chat there is the session we did in January where Stuart went through Joomla 4 and how all that works. So anything that doesn't get covered, you know where I am. So.
I do.
Done stacking stuff.
But you're about to move.
We one of the things I've noticed with StackExchange is that there's a lot of more technical questions coming in, which I think is where there's probably a need for people that are coders to go and answer things more. The one that's on top of the top questions at the moment is controller for Joomla output class construct for color CSS style, which I'm sort of just going, not my area of expertise there. So
I actually look at them quite regularly on the Slack feed.
yeah.
And there are largely technical ones.
Yeah.
I'm not sure Vic's on the money when he says he upvotes things that have been explained well, but anyway.
No. If the person leading StackExchange is the person that I think he's referring to, then it may not necessarily be a bad thing for the StackExchange community.
I suspect it's probably the same person I'm thinking.
Yeah, but at the same time, one of the differences with StackExchange is that it's a very programmatic community, so there's not a lot of chit chat going on there. But at the same time, there's also probably less. Toivo, you're a forum moderator, aren't you, for Joomla?
Yes, indeed. I'm global moderator.
Yeah. Sorry, everyone. Welcome back, Toivo, to Australia.
Hi, Toivo.
World tour for the last few years.
Thanks.
The first time he's joining. This is the first time you're joining the Australian user group meeting, I think.
Yes, I took part in the Sydney Joomla User Day in 2012, 11, and so on. So.
Yep. So yeah, in regards to the forum, the StackExchange and the forum are very different styles of user interaction, I think, aren't they?
I noticed, yes.
Yeah. So they've both got their place, I guess. It just seems that we keep on finding, I find that when I go to the forum that there'll be some moderators that are a bit more abrupt than others. That if you haven't asked the question the right way, then you'll get sozzled on your back. So. Yeah.
Yes, you will.
So if there's tips that you've got on how to answer things in the forum, is the forum still getting lots of use? Which also shows that I haven't been on there for a while.
It's been more quiet, I think, this year than before.
Okay.
But hopefully it will pick up with Joomla forum.
Yeah. So, and I think that's one of the things that with the volunteer engagement stuff that I'm working on is to try and get it so that we've got people aware that that's where the answers, the two places to go and get answers are the Joomla forum and StackExchange if you happen to be more a StackExchange user, and we've just got to make sure that the right people are answering questions along the way, and the information's coming through for the moderators to be able to access. So yeah.
So Patrick, as I was saying to Mick, where I've nutted things out in the past, and it's not a huge technical level, but it's sort of like, oh dear, my website's dead and I've got this error and I've been able to work out how to get around it. I've shared that sort of information on joomla.org.au. In sort of like the tips and what have you. I haven't thought to share it on the Joomla. Sorry, Toivo, I haven't done that. But the sort of the worldwide Joomla, but just sort of shared it on the local site. And I kind of think, well, maybe that might be useful for someone who goes to StackExchange and has a problem with this particular error, which I had, and then found a way around it. But would be an idea to share it across that and the Joomla world.
Yeah, certainly. I know that. So I tweeted the other day when I excitedly found something. I actually found the answer to the question I was looking for 6 weeks ago, and the answer was the answer that I posted in great detail on the forum that I was looking at. As to exactly what I needed to do, and so that meant that I was able to just cut and paste the code and put it into, I think it was an RS Forms issue, and had the answer there straight away. So the Joomla Help site that I'm in the process of putting together is actually going to use a Joomla custom search engine that will, amongst other sites, have the Joomla forum, the Australian forum, Joomla StackExchange and various other sort of reputable extension development forums included in the search index, so that then when you are searching for something, you'll get possibly answers from 5 different sites, rather than currently when you search on any of those channels, you'll get just their results. And so,
Are you using Elasticsearch for that?
no, that's at the moment it's just going to be the Google custom search engine that's been customized to do that. But I might have a look at Elasticsearch to see if that can integrate with it. As at the moment, the Google custom search engine, you know, is at the behest of Google.
I'm pretty sure you can add external data sources to Elasticsearch.
Okay.
Yeah. Could be wrong. I think you can. And there is a quite nice Joomla plugin for Elasticsearch.
Okay. All right. I'll add that to the research list, because that's one of the ones that needs to be done in July. So cool. All right. Well, if there's any other questions, I can smell the dinner going at my place. So good to see you all, and I'll cut this apart and upload it to YouTube soon, and watch back soon.
Thank you very much, Patrick. That's great. Really enjoyed tonight.
If anyone wants to suggest a topic for next month, get in touch and we'll happily put you in front of the camera.
Or Joomla 4.
All right, great. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks. See you later, everyone.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.